Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, Tay Griggs here with my guy Jovan, man. Money making Sunday. We got a full slate of NFL action. We got 3 NBA games. I know there's some hockey. You probably won't talk no hockey with Jovan, but hey, we got a lot
Absolutely not.
of NFL and NBA to talk about, man. There's a lot going on today, and y'all know what we do here, man. So, Jovan, how you doing today, my man? What's happening?
I'm doing all right. It's just and I knew it was gonna be a rough day yesterday. I got juiced. I broke even as far as wins and losses. So juice was in effect yesterday. Got squeezed out. But yeah, I just knew it was gonna be one of those Saturdays where you know certain teams came to play and other teams didn't. You know, the selection process is what stopped me from having a winning day. But like I said, I went even. So it wasn't just like it was a bad day or anything like that. So I kind of escaped, if you ask me.
Fair, fair. Everybody knows, man. I've been in a little funk this week, man. The NBA just and kind of caught a hold of me. It's all good though. We're in week 2, so I'm not really worried about it. Uh, Bounce back. We got 3 games to talk about today over there. We'll talk about, but NFL action, man. We're steady rolling along. Like we blinked and we're mid-season already. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. I think we're starting to really learn who some teams are in the NFL. I still think we have a lot to learn about some other teams, and I think right now it's it's pretty open in this league this year. I don't, there's Kansas City, and then everybody else kind of is what I think. But any given Sunday. So we've seen a team run the table and then lose in the bowl. So you never
Yeah, I
know.
mean, with the Kansas City Chiefs, they're doing it with smoke and mirrors. You know, that man Mahomes, he's not having his best season, but he's still in the MVP. He's still one of the top guys for the MVP voting as far as odds makers go. So go figure with that. But yeah, their defense was carrying them, and everyone else is basically trying to play catch up.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Let's see if some teams can catch up today. With the Chiefs not playing until tomorrow. Let's hop in. Let's hop in, man. Let's go to the first 2 games on the card. We got the Miami Dolphins out on the road in Buffalo, and we have the Baltimore Ravens at home laying 8.5 on the Broncos. How you feeling about these 2 games?
Uh, so I'm gonna look at the total with the Baltimore Ravens and Denver Broncos game. And this is just one of these situations where, Denver, their defense is playing well. Let's just call it what it is. Sean Payton has these boys playing. The question is, can they stem the tide against a frustrated Baltimore team, who's coming off that loss uh, against the division rival in the Cleveland Browns? It remains to be seen, but I will say this about the total. I think it's going to be one of those lower scoring games. Just given the fact that the Broncos defense, they seem to be for real in this one. I don't know if they could hold the best offensive team in the league, but you know, they'll have their chances to get some stops. So I look for this to be a lower scoring game. It takes two teams to contribute to the totals most more times than not. So I think that we won't see both teams contribute. Let's just say that.
Fair enough. Hey, I like that under too. And I like the Broncos plus the points in this one is how I would look at this game. I think it's going to be a lower scoring, ugly football game. When the Ravens play NFC teams, that's when they show their ass. Is kind of what I think. That's when they whoop it up, beat up on teams. When they play teams in conference, mainly teams in division, as we saw them lost last week, but teams in conference, it's usually not as dominant of a win. Um, I do think the Ravens. I know these 2 teams have similar records at 5-3, but I do think the Ravens are pretty sizably the better football team. But I don't want to lay 8.5 on a Broncos team that's playing good football. The Broncos, they've won 4 of their last 5. Um, And like Javon said, their defense is really what has stood out to me recently. When you look at 3 of their last 5 games, they've held teams to 14 or under. So it's like, I know they didn't play the greatest of competition in those 3 games, but still, I think we can bank on the Broncos defense having a solid day. And if they do have a solid day, then we don't need the Broncos offense, which I do have concerns about, to do too much. So give me the points with Denver. Give me the under in this football game. Ravens win it. Broncos cover, is how I see this one shaping out. In that Miami Buffalo game, I'm just gonna lay the points with Buffalo. I'm not gonna overcomplicate it. Me and Mitch have been harping on Mike McDaniel all season. I'm just going to continue to do so. And the other thing is the Bills, quite frankly, just own the Miami Dolphins. Like, they just have their number. It just is what it is. Sometimes you just don't buck trends. This is a series that's one of them. The Dolphins seem to have almost rolled over and died. Last week, they did all that yapping about how this was the week, our quarterback's back, watch out for us, we going off. L. And I think the Bills just continue to beat up on the Dolphins. There's a reason why the Bills are sizable favorites in this football game. Mike McDaniel as a dog against good teams in his tenure, terrible. So I'm not overcomplicating now. I'm just taking the better football team, just trusting my eyes. Everybody keeps waiting on Miami to wake up. I think people need to start just looking at Miami for what they are, not a good football team. I'm going to lay the points with the Buffalo Bills in that one, Jovan. Let's keep it pushing.
Hold on, real quick about that game. Not to touch on the full game, but in the first quarter, I will agree with you on Buffalo. They usually jump out to, a lead in this one, in games where they're at home. And, it's just par for the course with them. So give me them against the spread in the first quarter.
Fair enough.
You don't got to wait around to get that money.
We do. Let me think. Give me a Tua Tagovailoa interception in that game. Maybe a Josh Allen rushing touchdown as well. I can see it happening. I can see both of them happening. I've been trying to do more props this season. They've been trying to get me into the props in the NBA, so I've been doing them. So kind of like it. Do a little more. Let's keep it rolling. We'll head to Cleveland, where the Browns are home dogs with the Chargers coming in. And we'll go to Carolina as well, where the Panthers are 7.5-point dogs with the Saints coming in. I'll go first this time. Last week, man, I tried to tell y'all about Mr. 30 for 30, Mr. Jameis Winston. And I'm still buying some Jameis stock. He didn't have the greatest of game last week. Of course, it was the Browns defense, but I just think now that the Deshaun Watson bad mojo is off the team, that's a plus. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I think they're going to come in here and play Brown-style football. I think with Deshaun Watson on the team, they still were trying to justify the $230 million. When we all knew what it was. You know what I mean? Now I think with the backup quarterback in there with Jameis, now I think they get back to just game planning, the best game plan on a week-to-week basis. The Chargers are not a good football team, in my opinion. They're not. The Chargers are the other team that feels like everybody kind of feels like they're waiting on the Chargers to start clicking, when I think we just need to look at the Chargers for who they are. They weren't a good team 2 years ago. They weren't a good team last year, and I don't think they're a good team this year. Their wins are against not great football teams. Their best win was against Denver. Solid win. But outside of that, I ain't really like what I've seen from. The other 2 wins are the Raiders and the Panthers. So, in the Saints. I'm not buying what I'm seeing from the Chargers right now. I don't think they should be favored on the road here in this one. If the Browns play a similar style game to last week, I'll take the Browns in this one. And then in the other one, Saints-Panthers, I hate laying points with bad teams. Laying points with bad teams, you're asking for it. And laying over a touchdown, 7 and a hook, you're asking for it. This is a team that's lost 6 straight football games. And now you're going to go lay over a touchdown. It just doesn't make sense to me. Not saying that they don't win the game. Not saying that they don't win by a touchdown. I'm just saying you're asking to get your money to laying over a touchdown with the Saints. I know they're getting healthy again. I know the Panthers are on the do not bet list. I know the Panthers are terrible. I know the Panthers are ass. I know Bryce Young is back under center. I get we don't like betting the Panthers. I get it. That don't mean we lay points with bad teams. I can't do it. Won't do it. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers plus the points. Javon?
Yeah, the fact of the matter is I just can't touch the Carolina Panthers. It's really that simple. They have shown nothing as far as even getting a sniff of a cover, let alone a victory. They haven't been competitive in these games no matter who's at quarterback. They had that one game where they got that one game bump from Andy Dalton, but other than that, it's been a bloodbath, and they've been on the short end of the stick of it. So the only way I could go is with the Saints. Derek Carr, is he playing? I
I
believe he
believe
is.
so.
I
I believe
believe
so.
he is. So that just ups the cachet for those boys over in New Orleans. And look, with them getting healthier, I expect it to be a double-digit victory. I won't be playing the game myself, but the only way I could go is with the Saints. And for this Chargers Browns game, no, I'm gonna go with the under two strong defensive teams. Now the Browns, they haven't got the press clippings that they did last year as far as their defense, but they're still a strong defensive team. And with the injuries that are still, affecting this Chargers offense, and they rely on their run game way too much as far as I'm concerned. They do have the quarterback, but they don't have the pieces surrounding him to be a high flying offense. So if they're not running the ball, they're pretty much dead in the water as far as scoring points and moving the ball up and down up and down the field. So I like this as a straight under. Not really to sweat. I know Jameis Winston's on the other side. He's gonna let it fly, but I think that the Chargers defense, they'll do just enough to slow that Browns offense, also, and it'll be more of a running style game for both teams anyway. So I like my chances with the under in this one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. We head to Cincinnati, where the Bengals are laying 7.5 on the Raiders. And we head to New York, where the Commanders are laying 4 on the road on the Giants. You're up first here, Jovan. What you liking these two?
Yeah, we're gonna dealing with these boys in the Meadowlands, man. It's a funny thing. These two teams faced off. They faced off a few weeks ago, about what 6 weeks ago, and it was a low scoring game then. Now, the way I like playing these divisional games, I like to do the opposite of what happened as far as the total in the second game. But in this one, I think that we have another under. I don't think it's going to be a shootout at all. I think that uh, Jalen Daniels, he is still laboring with that injury that he suffered. It kind of showed, but then again, when the chips were down, he got the job done. But I think in this one, given the fact that he's on the road, they've already seen him twice. The G-men have. I think that they could slow him down. And on the other side, you know who you got on the other side? You got Jonesy Boy, who's willing to throw it to the other team at a moment's notice. So I think this is an underplay. That's the only way I'll be able to play it. Um, as for the other game, that hook is going to loom large as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to lay all these points with a Cincinnati team who hasn't really shown anything for the most part of this season. So it's just basically Raiders by default for me. There's really not much more to say to it than that. You saw them get the backdoor cover against the Chiefs, and I think the same thing can happen if not be a more competitive game than that. So one thing about it, Antonio Pierce, he gets these guys playing. They play for their coach. They might not be that talented, but they play for him. So just want to show for that. I gotta be on the Raiders.
Fair. I'm gonna take the Bengals and lay it. I just think this is it right here. This is it. If they can, with especially with the Ravens on deck on Thursday, like if they don't stand up here and galvanize his locker room and beat up on a bad Raiders team, then I think they think their season's over, especially with a daunting Ravens team on deck. This team has no more room for error. And the back door, I agree. The back door in this game is wide open. It's wide open. But if there's y'all know me, man, if there's a guy that I'm gonna rock out with and back up against the wall, we've seen him do it too many times. It's Joe Shiesty. So I'm gonna take the Bengals. I'm gonna lay it here. I think they kick it back into gear, and kind of do what they've done the last couple seasons, and that's gear up for a late season run. So give me the Bengals. I'm gonna lay it in that one. I'm gonna be 1,000 with y'all. I'm not overly in love with it though, and Jovan is 100% correct. The back door is wide open in that game, so be leery laying the points. I wouldn't buy it down or do no crazy shit like that though. Don't do no crazy shit like that and just lay it. Lay it or leave it alone if you're rocking with what I'm saying. And then that Giants Commanders game, y'all know Daniel Jones ain't throwing a touchdown pass in the Meadowlands, and like it's getting up to like I think it's like y'all remember when LeBron hit that shot over the lake over the Thunder for the scoring record? It was before that. Like that, Daniel Jones ain't thrown a touchdown pass since then. In the Meadowlands. Like, think about what I just said. Like, man. Giants are just ass. It just is what it is. This is a division game, and that 4 on the road does make my stomach hurt a little bit, especially with a banged up Jaden Daniels. But I can't take the Giants. It's weird with me. I can bet the Panthers, but I can't bet the Giants. It's like I don't know. Not a game I'm overly in love with, but I'm gonna take the Commanders in this one. We're probably heading for a push. We're probably heading for like 24-20. Honestly, it's probably what we're heading for. But it wouldn't be surprised if this was like 31-10 either. You know what I mean? Just a complete dominant performance. Because I do think Washington has shown me enough this season to say that they are head and shoulders the better football team in this game. They're deserving of laying 4 on the road. So I'll trust the Commanders. I'll lay it. All right, let's keep it rolling. We head to Tennessee, where the Titans are laying 3 on the Patriots, and we head to Atlanta, where the Falcons are laying 3.5 or 3. Do your line shopping, depending on who you like in this game. You can find either on my Dallas Cowboys. Javon went first last time, so I'll go first here. Give me the Patriots plus the points, bro. The Titans, I hate laying points with bad teams, and that's what the Titans are. The Titans this season have created ways to lose football games. I really want to take the Patriots outright on the money line, is what I want to do. I know the Patriots aren't a great football team, but defensively, I trust them. And on the other side, whether it's Rudolph or Levis or both, I think they're going to struggle mightily against a solid Patriots defense. And in a vacuum, like the Titans offense may be better than the Patriots offense, but by how much? Really. Nothing here tells me to lay points with the Titans. Man, this team just finds ways to lose football games. They find ways to turn the football over. They find ways to just be the Titans. I'm done with the Titans. Give me the Patriots in that one. And then the other one, man. On the NFL show earlier in the week, I took the Falcons, believe it or not. Here on Sunday, y'all know where I'm at. I'm on the money line for my Dallas Cowboys on Flickr. Y'all know where I'm at. Hey, man. Ultimately, what it comes down to is I think the Falcons are overrated and overvalued. It's still the Atlanta Falcons at the end of the day. They are playing good football. Shout out to them. They have won 4 of their last 5. But we also seen them lay a complete egg at home against the Seattle Seahawks. So it's like And that's who the Falcons are. Like, you know what I mean? That just when you think they finna do something, they never do it. The Falcons are kind of like the Timberwolves of the NBA. Is who the Falcons are. Like the house of disappointment of the NFL, man. Just when you think, nope. And I think this is one of them games, man. I think the Cowboys have a legitimate chance to come here and win this game outright. The Falcons secondary doesn't pose enough of a threat, and the pass rush doesn't pose enough of a threat to, I think, really cause Dak too many issues. And it's still Kirk Cousins on the other side at the end of the day, man. That's how I feel. So maybe a little fandom pick. I'll be 1,000% real, but it's a real plus money opportunity for Dallas. Season basically on the line. I gotta go out with my team, man. It's what I'm doing. Devon, how you feeling?
Speak to the Patriots game real quick. I'm on the Pats. Word is Drake May's gonna play in this one. He got cleared on with all the concussion protocols. That's the last I saw. At least the latest that came down. So with him under center, it creates more of, running the football. When he can't see anything, downfield when everyone's locked up. Think about it is this Titans team, they did show some defensive juice in certain spots, and last week they did move the ball against the Lions, even though they got boat raced, as the game progressed. But as far as this one, it's nothing that I'm gonna be touching. The Patriots did pull off the victory in dramatic fashion, come from behind fashion, and got the upset. So, you might want to, uh, maybe get a better line because they might be down early. But with this being at 3.5, I can only look at the dog. I'm in this one, and I'm gonna look towards the over because I think points could be scored with Drake May, under center as opposed to Jacoby Brissett, and I think that the Patriots defense, yeah, as the season's going on, they've gotten worse. So their best defensive play was basically game one of this NFL season against the Bengals. So give me the over. It's a low total. And I wish I would have played it as a premium pick. That's how I'm feeling about this one as I'm looking at it right now. As for this Dallas and Atlanta game, I would like to be on the over. Actually, I'm gonna be on the over, even though these high totals have a way of sometimes, falling just short. So this is how I will play it. I'm not gonna play a full game. I'm gonna play it first half because I think there's gonna be fireworks in this game in the first half. Sometimes these high total games have a way of, having explosive plays in the beginning, and then they go into halftime into the locker rooms, make adjustments, and it's a whimper after that. Or they won't score in the first half, make adjustments, and then start airing it out. So I would for this one. I think that the form is going to happen. I think that you're going to see a lot of points in the beginning of this ball game. So give me the over for the first half. Muted, bro.
My bad. Let's keep it rolling. We had the 3 o'clock. We got the Cardinals 1.5 point favorites over the Bears. This line has come down over the week. Bears are a public team. People betting them Bears. I'm not shocked to see the line come down a bit. And then we also got the Eagles and the Jags. We got the Eagles laying 7.5 on Jacksonville. Jovan, how you feeling?
Man, this Eagles for me. You know, um, just as simple as that. Old friend Doug Peterson's coming into town, and you already know that Philly, they're gonna want to lay the wood to this guy. The first time he came into Philly, he took the L. It was believe like a 7, 8 point victory. The Eagles got the cover, and I think in this one, they got Trevor Lawrence under center, and he's primed to throw a pick or make some sort of error, fumble the ball, some sort of shenanigans with him. In that situation with the Philly defense coming alive, playing boss defense, Jalen Hurts doing his thing. He's using his legs more, which is when he's at his best. not trying to stay in the pocket all the time and, trying to take deep shots. He's picking his spots, when to run now. So this is, when with him with his full cachet of weapons, listen, this can only go one way. Pull out the extended clip for this one because it's going to be a bloodbath as far as I'm concerned. I know that the Jacksonville Jaguars have been covering some spreads lately. I was on them last week, I know. But in this one, they run into a buzzsaw dealing with the Philly boys. Later points.
Earlier in the week, man, Mitch came to me. He basically came to my house and had an Eagle intervention. He said, "Jay, you have to stop fading the Eagles." So I just can't fade them today, man. I want to be on the Jags. Let me be real. I want to bet the Jags. I want to be on the Jags, but I'm gonna just leave the Eagles alone. All right. The Eagles are now on the do not fade list because I'm gonna say they're overrated and overvalued. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say 7 in the hook. Hell no. But I just don't got a good read on the Eagles. Let's just call it spade.
There's 7 in some spots. There's 7s in some spots.
Okay, so grab the 7 if you see the 7s, fellas. Grab the 7s, man. But the Jags are a bad football team. They are. Don't confuse it. The Jags are a bad football team. The Eagles are not nearly as bad as I try to portray them to be. They are head and shoulders the better football team in this game, but do I trust them laying 7? Hell no, I don't, bro. I don't. I don't. So I personally won't be betting this game. If forced to pick the game, I would want to bet the Jags, but I can't bet the Jags because of the Eagle intervention I had earlier this week. So I'm gonna leave this game alone. And Cardinals Bears. I'm on the Cardinals, man. I told y'all at the week 1, I probably was gonna bet the Cardinals every game this season. The Cardinals just are one of them teams that just fit my mold. And this is a game where I pretty much have faded Chicago every game and taken Arizona every game, and I'm just not gonna switch up on what I've been doing. I'm just not gonna switch up on who I think these two teams are in my mind, in my opinion. I think sometimes one thing you have to do when betting sports is you have to formulate your own opinion and kind of stick to it until proven it's wrong. And I don't think either team has proven me wrong or right yet at this current time of the season. Kind of like I was saying at the very start of the show. I think we still have a lot to learn about these two teams moving forward. Both teams can either finish last in their division, or both teams could mess around and finish first in their division, based on how their divisions are lined up right now. So it's still a lot to learn about these two teams. Like I said, I'm going to stick to my opinion. My opinion is I think the Cardinals mess around and win this division. I do, man. The Cardinals to start the season had one of the toughest schedules to start the season, than any team had. Starting off with the Bills, they had a step down game against the Rams, beat them up. Then played the Lions, who may be the best team in the NFC. Played them tightly. Then played a Commanders team who we didn't really know at the time how good they were, and they built the ass on the Cardinals in that one. They turn around, they'll beat the Niners. Played a solid Packers team, beat the Chargers, beat the Dolphins. The Cardinals are just who we think they are. And in this game today, I think they're the better football team. The Bears, on the other hand, I still don't know who they are. And the Bears don't have a win that they can hang their hat on. I mean, the Titans, the Rams, the Panthers, the Jags. I'm not a Bears hater. I'm not trying to be a Bears hater. I'm just saying, show me. I have to see it. And I think this is probably when they've played the step-up games against good teams, they lost. Texans, Colts, Commanders last week, even though they had the Commanders last week, lost. And if you saw Jaden Daniels do the scramble drill, I'm telling you, Mr. Scramble Drill today is really on that field. In Kyler Murray. So I'm on the Cardinals in this one, fellas. I'm just letting y'all know my thoughts on this game, how I break it down, how I see it. Give me Arizona laying the points at home at the crib.
Yeah, I'll for this one for that game. I really don't have an opinion. I can see it going both ways. Actually, I will say this. last game, the way that the Bears lost, I think it affects them in this game. That's what I will say. Now, will it affect them for the whole game? I'm not sure because they do have a real strong defense, and their defense might carry them through. That's the reason why I really don't have an opinion full game because it's just one of those things where, okay, they might start off sluggish, but if that defense, gets a, makes a stop, strip sack, or, an interception, then they're in business. You saw what happened last week. After the Bears gave up, what, 4 field goals it was. They was pretty much, on lockdown status until that Hail Mary, and allowed the Bears offense to get it going. So, when you have a defense like that, you're always going to be in play for a comeback or, things of that nature. So I just don't want to touch this game. I would say that the under might be in play, though.
Fair. I think I'm excited to watch that game today. That's one of my favorite games that I'm going to be watching later on today for sure. Let's keep it rolling. We had the last 2 games in the 3 o'clock slot. Well, let's just do all 3. Let's just do all 3. The last 3 games. We'll do the last 3. We got the Lions and the Packers. Lions laying 2.5 in Lambeau. It's gonna be a good one too. I'm excited to watch that game, man. I gotta have a split screen going in that one. We got the Rams laying 2 on the Seahawks, and we got the Colts 5.5-point home dogs on Sunday Night Football with the Vikings laying the points. Joe Flacco getting the start. They benched AR. Javon, what you like here in these last 3 games in the NFL today, my man?
We're gonna look at Green Bay in this one. I was, back and forth on whether this was gonna be a premium. At the end of the day, I said, nah, it's not. But and that's just on the strength of Jordan Love and his status. Looks like he's gonna give it a go. It's the last reports I think I saw.
I think
But
so.
that hamstring, those hamstring injuries, they're a hell of a thing. He might be out there and and beg for mercy. You know what I'm saying? One of those things. He might scramble a little bit, or he might just be, hopping, looking for a receiver and come up lame. You just never know with those hamstring injuries. But so I had to back up off it. But I think that given the weather conditions in this one, wind, rain, I think that's to the advantage of the team that likes to play outdoors. That's the home team, playing up against a team that's, in the dome. So give me the Pack.
Go, Pack, go, says Joe. I don't know what happened to my camera. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Let me just flip it to this one. Come back. Dang, always got to back up. All right. This camera don't make me look as good as the other one. Last 3 games on the card. This is what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like the Lions are the better football team, but it's like laying points in Lambeau is usually not a great idea. Forced to pick that game, I would take the Lions, and it's just off the strength of the Lions just be a cover fucking machine. Like man, over the last couple of seasons, it's not even close. My Cowboys were battling with the Lions over the last 3 seasons for a while, but now it's clearing away. The best cover team, the Lions. Like you bet the Lions, you probably, have a new car or something. Because these boys just be covering. It's like you just don't doubt them. And with Jordan Love hampered, I think the Lions right now are the best team in the NFC. They are. And I think they come in here, run the football, and get a win. That's how I feel. And now the line with Jordan Love back in there, now the line under the 3. Give me Detroit. I'm gonna take Seattle. I'm gonna lay the points not Seattle. I'm gonna lay the points with the Rams on Seattle. I just think in this game, hey, similar to what I said about the Cardinals, that division right there, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, Niners, Man, it couldn't be tighter than what it is right now. When I look at this game, now I think this is just a head coaching mismatch. I think this is one of them coaches that just been there, done that, going up against a first year head coach. Now when shit's starting to get tight, shit's starting when your player's injured, when you know what I mean, when it's all on the line, when you can scheme up your first couple games like they did, when nobody knows what they're getting from you, it's a little different. But now that we got some film on the Seahawks, now that we know who they are, man, as I say all the time, I love betting great head coaches and great quarterbacks, tandems. And that's what we got here with the Rams. And I think that's enough to go into the 12 man and get it done. So I'm going to lay the 2 with the Rams. I'm just not going to overcomplicate it, man. I'm just not going to overcomplicate it. That's how I see that game. And then Sunday Night Football, Vikings, Colts. It's a tough one. I'm going to go Colts plus the points. I do think the Vikings win the game. I do think the Vikings are the better team. But I just think we're starting to enter the realm of what's my favorite saying? A team is overrated and overvalued. The reason I say that is because just think to take what you've seen last, you know what I mean? If coming into the season, if you were a lines maker in this game, what would the line be? Vikings 2.5. Vikings 2. Vikings are a good team. They have shown us that they're going to be right there this season. I do think they win the football game. I think Vikings probably win the game. But I think the Colts come in here. The Colts have been a covering machine too this season. Veteran under center Joe Flacco, so probably won't have them same stupid mistakes that Anthony Richardson be making sometimes. Be down in the red zone, throw a pick, ugly pick. I don't think we really got to worry about those style things with Joe under center tonight. Last hoorah, really, for Joe, man. You know what I mean? Sunday Night Football. He probably won't have too many opportunities like this. So give me Flack, man. Give me Flacco on the Colts plus the points. Sunday Night Football to close it out. Anything else for you today in the NFL, Jovan, before we keep it pushing?
Looking at this Colts Vikings game, I don't know. The Vikings have kind of let it slip defensively last couple games.
They have.
And Joe Flacco, he'll air it out. So if that blitz can't get to him, he'll shred him. So I say that to say that this one has the potential of being a shootout and going over the total. You know, um, the Vikings are coming off a bye, are they? I believe they are.
Vikings, or did they play the Lions last week?
Was it last week or the week before? Or was
They
it one?
played the Rams. Yeah, they're coming off a bye. Are they?
Yes.
Or they played Thursday last week. That's what it was. They played Thursday last week.
Okay, so it was a Thursday game. So it's just like a mini bye. So, extra time for them. Maybe the defense gets right, but looking at it for what it is, I think the over's in play.
Fair. What you selling today over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got a 5-pack in the NFL 1 o'clock time slot, and I will have for the later portion of the slate. I have a 3-pack that will encompass the 4 o'clock games and the prime time games. So eight games in all for NFL action. Should be a doozy. Should say hammer on real good this week. Already started off on a winning note on Thursday night's game. So looking to keep it going.
There you go.
As for the NBA, I'll probably squeeze out an NBA players as well. We're kind of seeing it well on that side, so might as well.
There you go. Hop on with Jovan, man. Hop on with Jovan. For me today, fellas, I have an NBA player of the day, of course, and I have an NFL player of the day. I think I have a total of 5 or 6 NFL plays. Right now, only 1 NBA play, maybe 2. I might put another one in there. I'm just kind of waiting on something. So that's what I got going on today. Scoop it up, Pick Dogs Premium, hop on something long term. Let's kick the crap out of the book. Speaking of the NBA, let's talk some NBA, Jovan. Let's talk some NBA. First game of the day is the Brooklyn Nets laying 2.5 on the Pistons. Total 218.5. Any thoughts?
Jeez, the last time we saw the Brooklyn Nets, what happened to them? Didn't they get boat raced? They was playing well, and then they got hammered, right?
Last time we saw the Nets, they beat the Bulls on Friday,
They beat
121-12.
they beat the Bulls. Oh
They
my
beat
God!
Yeah.
Hold on, who the hell was I thinking about that got boat raced after playing so well? I have no idea, but and this is
In Brooklyn.
in Brooklyn. I really have I have no call in this one right now. Are we going 1 for 1 because it's only 3 games?
Yeah, we can go. You can do all three though. We can do all three. What you like in all three?
No. Let's go one. Let's go on 1 for 1. We got enough time.
All right, cool.
You know what? Brooklyn's been playing hard enough. They've been winning. You know, and until Detroit can show me, that's who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Detroit, who got boat raced because they got hammered pretty well against the Knicks, and I was on Detroit that night. So yeah, that's who I was actually thinking about. So until Detroit could show me that they could actually win on the road, then it really has to be the Nets or nothing. You know, the Nets have been playing strong, been covering spreads, and like you said, they won their last game. So yeah, give me the Nets.
Of the 3 games today, this is, I think, probably the toughest one. I can make an argument going either way, is why I think it's tough. The way I will make the argument, and I think I'm gonna go to Pistons, and I'm gonna try to go money line, is what I'm gonna do. And it's simply because same thing I said in NFL. I'm just sticking to my opinion, and we're gonna see if it's either wrong or if it's right. I think the Pistons are improved from a season ago. I think they're gonna be a better team this year than they were last year. And I don't want to just sell on them 6 games into the season, especially when hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is they've probably played the toughest schedule to start the year than anybody. They played all the top teams in the East. They played to start the season. They had the Pacers, who were in the Eastern Conference Finals. Then they had the Cavs, who are looking like the best team in the East currently. Then they had the Celtics, who are the defending champs. Backdoored that with a pissed off Miami team, who was right there always at the top of the East. They beat the Sixers on the road, which was kind of shocking to see them do that because the Sixers had won 12 straight against the Pistons in dominating fashion. So that was a good sign to see from them. And then they backdoored and played a pissed off Knicks team. So it's just like the Nets might be the worst team they've played this season. And I want to attack some plus money. Not saying that the Nets won't win this game. Not saying I haven't liked what I've seen from the Nets this season. I've bet the Nets a couple times. I like Cam Thomas to continue to go off. I took his over on the jam session today, over 26.5 points. Because I don't think the Pistons backcourt creates anything enough to slow him down. I think he just gets his shots up and he gets his points. But it's going to be a game that probably comes right down to the wire. And I'm just attacking some plus money. So we'll see. We'll see. Not a huge edge for me in this game. It's just when I see plus money that can be attacked, sometimes I want to attack it. And that's kind of what I'm doing.
You know, and I think the way they play, with this total being 219.5, I think this could push over the total. Because they're gonna dictate pace. They're gonna dictate the terms of engagement in this one. So I'll take a shot with the over as well. 219.5.
Let's keep it rolling, Jovan. We go to New Orleans. Well, the Pelicans are laying now. I see 3.5 on the Hawks.
What was it originally? 2.5?
5.5.
5.5? Wow.
It's coming down.
Coming down.
Yeah. Hey.
Jeez, Atlanta taking that money? Yeah, good luck with that.
That's what you took the words right out of my mouth, man. Y'all already know me. I have a do not bet list, Jovan, and there was only one team that carried over on the list from a season ago, and that was the Hawks. Remember, I try to remind everybody because I know everybody don't watch every show, but I try to put this in everybody's minds. The Hawks only covered at a 35% clip last season. We cashed at a 65% clip fading Atlanta. It don't get no better than that in professional sports. It just doesn't. And to start this season, they've been overrated and overvalued, y'all. Like, people still keep believing in this Hawks team. I'm going to take the Pelicans, man. I had put the Pelicans on the list after losing to the Warriors the first game in Golden State, but hindsight is now 2020. Maybe the Warriors just is hooping. And we just got to reevaluate. I have to reevaluate how I look at Golden State. And that won 3 straight minus Curry, and they showed me something last night on the road in Houston. So this is the Pelicans' opportunity, y'all, to come off the do not bet list. This is their chance. You know, the NBA do not bet list for me is fluid. It's really fluid. This is the Pelicans' opportunity to come off of it. I'm going to lay it here with New Orleans at home. I got to keep fading Atlanta until they show me something, show me a reason not to. I think they're worse than they were a season ago as well. That's the other part of it. I think they're worse than they were a season ago. And I don't think people have really caught up to that. So, I don't know. I'm just fading them until I have a reason not to.
What's up with Hawkins? Is he playing?
Jordan Hawkins is game time decision.
Yeah, I think that means, and just anticipating, I think that means he gives it a go. Yeah, listen, it's the same as it ever was for Atlanta. You know, they're a bad team as far as I'm concerned. But in this one, look at the total. They're a bad defensive team. You know, they have really no one who could hold their own on the defensive end of the court. You know, so look for them to get abused on that end of the court, but they'll score. You know, so give me the over.
I can see that.
I see it. What I see it at 230. Oh, that's light.
It is kind of light. Here's the totals in Hawks games. The Hawks have given up 120, 128, 121, 133, and 123.
Right. So, why does anyone think that that the Pelicans can't do the same thing? You know, so yeah, I don't care about the injuries, anything like that. Yeah, give me the over. That's money.
Fair. Might gotta slide that in too today. Last game of the card, Jay. Drove on. We got the Mavs land 6.5 on Orlando at home at the crib. How you feeling here? Paulo Banchero out for a month.
Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, sad state of affairs for the Magic boys, man. You check up on Wayne or what?
I know. I haven't checked on my boy Wayne. I need to call him, see if he all right.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, you know, against Cleveland, they could have got absolutely boat raced. They didn't. They did, you know, make it look better than what it was. No, the thing about it is they're not a good shooting team, and when you're playing against Dallas, you're gonna have to shoot the ball, you know, because this team in the Mavericks, they're gonna, they're equipped, to light it up, you know. So if their defense isn't coming to play, and this is the NBA, so defense, especially in this portion of the season, defense really doesn't mean anything. A couple nights ago, you had every game go over the total. You know, it's just one of those things where these guys are playing, they're playing gym ball right now, man, in a lot of these games. You know what I mean? So, I think it's a bad spot for Orlando, because they don't have what it takes offensively to muster up against these better shooting teams. So, and Dallas, they could bring it on the defensive end with their inside presence. So it can only be Dallas for me.
Word for word, bar for bar. That's pretty much what I said on the jam session this morning, as well as first off, I love betting Orlando. Like, I bet Orlando a lot. I made a ton betting Orlando a season ago. With that, I watch a lot of Orlando basketball games. The reason Orlando does play tenacious defense, one of the best defensive teams in the league. But like Jovan said, some games are going to need to go offensively, and Banchero was that guy. He's really the only guy on the team that I trust to get a consistent bucket, like the only guy that can go get his own bucket. Everybody else, I'm not saying that they can't. I'm just saying on a consistent basis, I don't trust them to do so. Their leading scorer the other night was Jalen Suggs. Do y'all really trust Jalen Suggs as an offensive initiator to get his own bucket on a night-to-night basis? I don't. And going up against an offensive juggernaut like Dallas, they can play as much defense as they want to. Sometimes it's just not going to be enough. Like, this is the NBA where great offense is always going to beat great defense. Like, that's how good these guys are in the league. So I just don't think that the Magic have the offensive firepower to hang with Dallas in this one. Maybe tightly contested for a while, but in the end, I think Dallas kind of pulls off and wins the game comfortably, especially off the disappointing home loss the other night to Houston. So we know the Mavs as home favorites is usually not the best spot. Road favorites is where they were killer last year, but I think this is a spot for them. We got to see what's going to happen with Orlando here. No Boncaro over the next month offensively. So something we got to keep an eye on. You think we'll be able to target some unders for Orlando over this next month or so? Or you think the books are catch on? What do you think?
No, I think unders are going to be in play. Depends on, I think they're just letting them play. The referees are letting them play. I think, with the league office, I think, they give the directive of how these games, not to say that the games are rigged, not saying that at all, because I don't believe that. But they do give the referees directives on how they want the games called.
More physical, less physical, more
right.
whistle, less whistle, 100%.
Exactly. So, with that said, you're going to see a lot of overs. I'm a guy that likes to play unders. You know what I'm saying? So in the last 5, 6, 7 years, the way that the NBA's been played, it's kind of hurt me as far as, the looks that I like to see, that I like to attack as far as totals go. So I've had to adjust. So it's been a lot of games where I've sat back and wanted to take an under on a game and knew damn well it was the wrong side. So I had to, switch up because I'm not just going to lose my money. You know what I mean? So, I just take the over, and that's going against everything that the stats might speak to, or what I know about these teams. So just a little tidbit for people who like betting totals in these NBA games.
Fair enough. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the NFL and NBA games today. So y'all know what time it is. It's parlay time. First one off the rip, first one of the season, man. My first opportunity to pull it off. Y'all know I got to put the Dallas parlay in. Y'all know that got to go in today. Mavs, Cowboys. Y'all know I got to place it. But I'm gonna cook up another one for y'all here in a second. Javon, what you got for me, my man?
Hold on,
cook it up. Yeah, we got time. Right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shoot it off right there. I'll give you like 3 or 4.
Let's do it.
Mavericks, Nets. That's one. The over. Actually, just the over in the Pistons, Nets, and Hawks, Pelicans games. So that's number 2. That's another 2-teamer. Then we're gonna go to the NFL. We'll look at Buffalo first quarter. New Orleans, Raiders, and Philly 4-teamer.
There you go. I'm gonna give y'all games. This is gonna be a parlay. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of them. It's gonna be a parlay of games that just missed my premium today. Cleveland. I'm still mad I didn't put that in because I like Cleveland a lot today. Cleveland, Cincinnati, New England. I like that 3-teamer right there. Cleveland, Cincinnati, New England. And then we'll go. Let's do another one. We'll go Indianapolis. We'll go New Orleans Pelicans. And we'll go Washington Commanders. So there you go. Javon, man, I appreciate you joining me today. Scoop up Javon's premium plays over at the site. You can scoop up mine as well. That's where our plays that we love the most are. The plays I personally have the most money on. That's where they are over there. Although I try to come on here and give y'all my thoughts every single day. Any final words, Jovan, before we get on up out of here?
Nah, let's get it done. Let's win. You know how it rolls over here, the Pick Dogs.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Scoop up some merch over at the site. And we'll see y'all later on. I don't know if we're doing halftime today or not. I'll let you. We'll see. And then, of course, we'll be back tomorrow. So see y'all then. We out of here. Peace.